Welcome to this session on components of a successful email. The successful email campaign relies on several critical components, each playing a vital role in engaging your audience and driving desired actions. On the components, we will look at subject lines. How do we craft attention-grabbing subject lines? The subject line is your email's first impression and a key determinant of whether your email gets opened, right? If your subject line is attention-grabbing and shows relevance based on your segmented audience, you are sure to have high open rates. Now, the first tip is to keep your subject line short and sweet. Aim for 6 to 10 words or around 50 characters to ensure it displays well across different devices. You don't want it to cut out or make it difficult for people to read. And again, to make it attention-grabbing, you have to actually make it short because you want to have a subject line that your audience can just look at and have a feel of what you're talking about instead of just having to read across. Use actionable language. Encourage your readers to take action with phrases like download your free guide or join us today, and so many others. Using actionable language drives action. When you use passive communication, then you experience passive reactions. Incorporate the recipient's name or other personal details to create a more personalized experience. Enhance curiosity, right? And urgency. So you have to create a subject line that piques interest or create a sense of urgency with phrases like, don't miss out on our exclusive offer or limited time only. Then, the last but not the least, A and B testing. You have to test different subject lines to see which one resonates best with your audience. I recommend that your subject line or your heading is the first you get right. So if you were to spend 2 hours on the content of your email, I recommend you spend 6 hours in ensuring that you get an adequate subject line. So to get one, after you've written several, you have to do your A and B testing to test the subject lines to see or select which one resonates best with your audience. Then, basically, what we are going through here now is actually the components of a great email, right? Of a successful email. So we have looked at the subject line. The next will be the pre-header text, okay? So what is the pre-header text? The pre-header text appears next to or below the subject line in the inbox. It provides additional context that can influence open rates, right? It gives additional context to the subject line and title of your mail. To optimize your pre-header text, you have to complement the subject line. So it is recommended that you use the pre-header text to expand on the subject line, thereby offering more details or context, right? Include a call to action. Prompt the reader to open the mail with phrases like see what's inside or learn more, right? Then keep your pre-header text short and concise, right? Aim for about 400 to 100 characters to ensure the text is fully visible in most email clients. Avoid repetition. Ensure the pre-header text is distinct from the subject line to maximize the information provided, right? You don't want to waste your 40 to 100 character space by repeating your subject line, okay? You want to ensure that you have basically 2 commanding effects on your readers. Let's go to the email body. How do we structure our email body to maximize engagement? So we'll start with a strong opening, right? By capturing attention immediately with a compelling opening line that draws readers in. For instance, if you have a great subject line, a wonderful pre-header text, and definitely you have a high open rate, What about keeping your audience engaged by having results for your call to actions or your click, right? To do that, when your audience open your email, you have to keep them in by grabbing their attention. So that is why it's recommended you start with a strong opening, right? Then you need to have clear and concise messaging. Your message must be focused and to the point. So you have to avoid unnecessary information. Then use short paragraphs and bullet points. Your paragraphs must be short, right, to enhance readability. So you break up your paragraph into bits, right, into short paragraphs. Then you use bullet points to ensure that with a glance, your readers can enjoy and understand the content you put forward or the content of your mail. Include visuals, very important. Use relevant images, right, to the message, or videos or infographics. This breaks up text, right, and add visual interest, making your email more engaging, right? Because visual content actually have more prospect or higher prospects for engagement than text. Use consistent tone and voice. Reflect your brand personality and maintain consistency across all communications to build trust and recognition. Your tone must be consistent across to ensure you captivate your audience and get their attention to follow through with what you want them to do. So we are done with the body. Let's just look at the call to action section. How do we design CTAs that convert? Because that is the purpose of call to actions, right? So we must have clear and visible call to actions, right? Ensure your CTA is clear and stands out. So that is why it's recommended you use buttons rather than just have text and links, because imagine you have a texting link, your audience might not really know if the intention is for them to click the text, and so they might not really know. But for better visibility, for better actions, you put your call to actions in buttons, right, to ensure you have high potential of clickability. Okay, then use action-oriented language. Use verbs that encourage actions. If you want them to download a PDF or a white paper, you say download now. If your call to action is meant to register, you say register. If your call to action is to buy, you say buy or shop now. This prompts immediate responses. Then placement. Position your CTA strategically, right? Ideally above the fold, and consider including multiple CTAs throughout the email to increase opportunity for engagement. This is very important because if your CTA is way below your email, if you lose your audience in a certain way or certain part of your mail, you will not have engagement on your call to actions, right? But if you have your call to action placed in multiple sections of your mail, you definitely have more engagement, right? Or more purchases or reactions to your CTAs. The ideal thing is not just to place them, but to strategically place them, right? How do you strategically place them? Your communication, your email content is supposed to be in such a way that every paragraph is prompting, right, an interest. And the interest ends in your action, right? The interest ends in your CTA. At those sections, that is where you place your CTA, right? So when you're developing your content for your mails, you don't just write at random, but ensure that it builds interest paragraph to paragraph, right? Then, last but not the least, will be to test and optimize. Experiment with different CTAs design, right? Placements and wordings to determine what resonates best with your audience and drives the most conversion. So we have basically looked at all of the components, right? From our subject line to our pre-header text to the body of the mail and then to the CTAs. Let's look at a sample email, right? So we have this sample email. The first here, as we discussed, is a subject line, and this subject line says, boost your immunity with natural fruits blend. Okay, we say try today. So somehow we are adding the try today to draw in attention, right? We have had the subject line here that we said users can boost their immunity with natural fruit blend. So we are encouraging them to try today. So definitely they will want to try today, specifically if our audience have been segmented appropriately for people who will have a high stress lifestyle that will want to find a natural way to boost their immunity, specifically those whose interest is based on natural or the use of natural products and their values as well. So the pre-header text will say, discover the delicious way to stay healthy and energized. Get 20% off your first order, right? So recall we said the pre-header text will give more insight into your subject line, but should not repeat what your subject line is saying, right? Or repeat the exact text in your subject line. So in the email body, we started with personalization. Hi, the first name of your audience, right? Or your user. Hi, John. Continue with, are you ready to give your immune system the natural boost it needs? So this is the body of the text. We are continuing. And remember, when we're discussing about the body, we said you should use short paragraphs, use bullet points to ensure that your email is easily understood and easily read. So we say, introducing Booster, our new blend of the finest natural fruits designed to keep you healthy and energized. Packed with essential vitamins and antioxidants, Booster is a perfect way to support your immune system while enjoying a delicious, refreshing drink. So now, while creating your mail, it's important to have visual elements. We stated that, or either have visual elements like images, videos, or infographics will kind of attract or make your email more interesting and engaging. While you love Booster, this section says, all natural ingredients, rich in vitamins and delicious taste. So watch this here. We have here is what our customers are saying to ensure that if this product is new to a certain audience, it's essential that they see a recommendation from clients or customers who have used it before. Then we have our CTA. Now, you see our CTA is placed strategically so that when you build interest, you have to also enhance confidence in the person, right? Showing that they are not the first person who are to use this drug, this booster. So now is the right time to put the CTA. And in our CTA, we say get 20% off. You see that we had elements of this CTA in our heading, and we still have it in the body of the email. So the CTA here now, the shop now, right? You could have order now or buy now, right? Because we said it is important that you use a verb to enhance action, right? Okay. So we still have our CTA at the end of the mail. We say shop now and save 20%. Stating it differently from what we had earlier, right? We say get 20% off. We're saying the same thing, but in different ways. So we have in this mail, 2 CTAs placed strategically, okay? For those who will not want to go to the end of the mail, and for those who can at least reach the end of the mail. At this point, some people might not have made up their mind to use the call to action button, but we believe that at the end of the mail, we must have been able to give a clear statement of fact why they should use our CTA or engage with the mail as we want them to.